Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going through my perfume tray for the month of October. I'll talk about the fragrances remaining on my tray as well as the 2 that I sold, and then I will go through the 10 new fragrances I'll be adding for the month of October. So I'm going to start off with the 2 fragrances that I sold and why. I sold Commodity Gold and Commodity Milk, both in the personal space scents, which are a little bit lighter, I would say, than or aren't quite as strong as the expressive versions that I have. And I tend to prefer in both of those fragrances the expressive version, and they are so similar, but one is just a little bit lighter than the other. So I ended up selling those. So the 8 remaining fragrances I have on my tray are definitely all staying, and I'll just start off going through what I have been wearing. The first one here is Baccarat Rouge 540. This needs no introduction. This is a really beautiful kind of woody, sweet, sugary fragrance that I love wearing coming into fall or really all year round. This is a fragrance that I used to reserve for more formal occasions, and lately I've been getting more use out of it just day to day because it is such a beautiful fragrance that always makes me happy. Next up from Byredo, I have Gypsy Water. This is a really beautiful fragrance, that another one that I wear all year long, that it's a little bit woody, a little bit citrusy, a little bit floral, and kind of just perfect for, again, coming into fall, but it is fresh enough to really wear all year round. Next up from Guerlain, I have Insolence. This is a really beautiful violet fragrance that is powdery and soft and perfect for bedtime, perfect for cozying up in my house, and I just really love this fragrance when I just want something really comforting. Next up from Kayali, I have Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. This is a really sweet vanilla fragrance that features sort of a, I would almost call it like a spun sugar fragrance that can sometimes be a little bit heavy when it is too kind of hot and humid here, but I've been really enjoying wearing this around the house, and I just kind of tread lightly with it, and it's beautiful. Another really sweet fragrance I have on my tray is Greenwich Village from Bond Number 9. This is a really beautiful kind of fruity floral fragrance with a little bit of woodiness, a little bit of like that Baccarat Rouge quality to it, and I really enjoy this fragrance throughout the year, but really love it in the transitional seasons. Another fragrance I love during transitional seasons is from Parfums de Marly. This is Oriana. This is a really beautiful orange blossom and whipped cream scent that is really, really sweet. To me, there's almost like a bubblegum quality about this fragrance, and I really enjoy it, again, in the transitional months. You can tell I've been wearing quite a few fragrances. I had quite a sweet tooth going on in the month of September. Next up from Mizensir, I have Très Cher. This is a really beautiful orange blossom vanilla fragrance with some powderiness and a little bit of like a marine note that gives this like a little bit of saltiness. It is absolutely stunning and really perfect, again, for the transitional seasons. And finally, from Chanel, I've got my Paris Venice, which is a really beautiful kind of citrusy floral with a powderiness that is very Chanel-esque. This is one that I do not need to tread lightly with because it is, I believe, an eau de toilette. It's very, very light wearing. It may even be an eau de cologne, I'm not sure. But it is really, really light to wear, and so you can just spray with abandon, and I just absolutely love this fragrance. And now getting into the fragrances I have selected for the month of October, I'm starting off with another Mizensir. This is Musc Eternal, which is a really beautiful kind of warm, cozy musk fragrance, very powdery, very soft, but very kind of warm and inviting and cozy. And as the weather hopefully cools down a little bit this month, I definitely am looking to wear more kind of powdery, soft, musky fragrances. Next up from Van Cleef & Arpels, I've got Orchidee Vanille. This is, to me, probably one of the most true vanilla fragrances I have ever smelled. And what I love about this is it's very light and a little bit powdery. I tend to go for things that are very powdery as I get into these transitional seasons seasons, but I'm living somewhere where it's still kind of warm and humid. I can get away with things that are vanilla, but nothing too kind of heavy or sticky sweet. So this one is a perfect one for this time of year, and I really look forward to wearing it. Next up from Christian Louboutin is one that I really have not worn a lot this year since getting it, and I needed to add it back on my tray because I do absolutely love it. This is Loubirouge, and this is an iris, cardamom, and vanilla fragrance that is powdery, a little bit woody, and just really, really pretty. I would say this is one of the prettiest fragrances that I own. It's very kind of non-offensive and just smells cozy, comforting, all the things that I love and want to smell like for the season coming. So absolutely wanted to add that to my tray. Next up from Chanel, I've got Bois de Zile. This is relatively new to my collection, but has yet to make it onto my fragrance tray. But I think now is the perfect time to be wearing this fragrance. This is really a powdery sandalwood fragrance with that sparkly Chanel-like quality that just makes it cozy and comforting, but at the same time just kind of soft, delicate, beautiful, and just perfect for this time of year. Next up from Kayali, I have Vanilla 28. This is everybody's favorite vanilla fragrance. It is such a beautiful, cozy, comforting, deep, smooth vanilla that includes like this brown sugar and a little bit of tonka bean. It's really, really lovely, and never really gets too heavy, even though some of the ingredients are things that I have in other fragrances that can be very heavy. This one is very light wearing and one that I really love wearing around my house or anytime I'm just looking for a little bit of sweetness, and I love adding it to other fragrances as well. So definitely wanted to add that to my tray. Next up, I have 3 fragrances from the house of Diptyque. The first one is Tam Dao, which is a beautiful sandalwood fragrance. And I love combining sandalwood with the next fragrance, which is Eau Duelle, which is a really beautiful kind of green vanilla, really cozy and comforting and fresh all at the same time. Love those two together. And then the third one is my newest Diptyque fragrance. This is L'Eau Papier, which is this really beautiful kind of warm, woody, musky fragrance that I find to be so cozy, so comforting, and I felt like when I got it, it was sort of like the wrong season to have purchased this fragrance, but I thought it would be perfect in the fall, so definitely wanted to add that to my tray for this month. Next up, I have another one of my favorite sandalwood fragrances from Tom Ford. This is Santal Blush. This is a really beautiful kind of deep sandalwood combined with I believe it has some oud in it or something that just smells like people say this is a very dry sandalwood, but I feel like it is a very kind of damp sandalwood. There's something in this that just smells like walking through a forest after it has been raining, and there's something also very sensual about this fragrance. This has too many notes to mention, but I would just say this is probably my most sort of sexy sandalwood fragrance, and I'm really obsessed, if you can't tell, with woody fragrances right now, so really excited to add that one to my tray. And last but not least, I've got Cedar Violet from Aerin, and this is a fragrance that, again, I picked up in kind of the wrong time of year. I got this in the spring, and I just fell head over heels in love with it, but I knew that it would be kind of perfect for the fall season. It's a really beautiful, warm, cozy, woody fragrance with some violet leaf that smells very kind of fresh, and between the freshness of the violet and the kind of cozy, comforting smell of the cedar, I just think this is a gorgeous fragrance, perfect for this time of year. So those are the 10 fragrances that I will be focused on wearing for the month of October. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, please leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in my next one. Have a great day.